Okay, I'd like to talk about sliding. Sliding's a technique that's used a lot in blues, and it gives that sort of lazy feel. Words that are bandied about a lot in terms of your playing feel, like syncopation, inflection, when you sort of hold back the timing a little bit or push it forward a bit. Using a slide, especially if you're using chords, you can get a really nice feel, and you can really like milk that. So we're going to look at sliding, and yes, we can look at some phrasing, but I'm more interested in chord work today. People often say to me, "Oh, I want to be a really good lead guitarist. How do I do this?" Or, "I want to be a really good rhythm guitarist. How do I do this?" Well, to me, you're a guitarist, full stop, and you have to have a good knowledge of chords, a good knowledge of scaling and phrasing, a good musical head. You've got to be able to hear things in your head, good sense of rhythm movement, and some theory understanding too, to know what you're doing. Because a lot of what you do, as I've explained earlier in earlier videos, is that you're playing out of chord inversions, and we're working in A, and we're going to start with our one chord as A7th, and as I say, we can play that chord. But then of course, we've got this one up here, we've got one down here, and we've got one up here. And then I'm going to play this one too, which is quite nice. And the reason we're playing bits of chords is because full chords don't really work. That's your A7th. But that's too full, there's too many A's in that. And secondly, sliding, that's going to be challenging. So we want little bits of chords that we can play, And we can play out of it, you see. So I might want to do something like this. I don't know. I'm going to use some sevenths, and I'm going to use sixes. A sixth chord is a T-bone walker chord. Talking about T-bone walker chords, I should probably use that one as well, which is the ninth, which is one of his favourite, or was one of his favourite chords. So I might be playing something like this. Okay. they're just a few chords that you could put in if you were playing blues. And as I say, I'm going to, in future videos, go through the chords of what I'm playing, you know, the sixes. That's a great. And you know, when you go to the 7th of the 4 chord, you come off the 13th. And you can even come off the 13th by going. And then you might throw in the odd 13th. And the climb up I did, you know. Just a nice chord. And of course all these chords have phrases within them. If you're playing this chord, then you end up on the major third. And then you want to move up. And so on. People also ask me about beginning a blues, and again, in any form of music, but blues, we're trying to have this conflict between stability and instability. Stable, very stable situation around the 1 chord gets much more unstable when you go over to the 5 chord. And just one example of a beginning, something that B.B. King might do. Most people want to start by going, you know. So we're hitting the chord, the note of our 1 chord, which is A, and ended on the A, and that's okay. Yeah. And you can get away with that. That's not bad, you know. But for me, I'm going to end on the note of the 5 chord. I'm going to end on the E. So I might go. And that's hanging there, and it's crying out to move. A lot of instability. Oh yeah. And that's what it gives you. And then you might want to go. finish on a slide. 2-note slides, yeah? And so on. So get used to using chords. We'll go through all those in a coming video. And then we'll look how we can build phrases out of the chords. But know your chords, get used to sliding them and creating a really blues feel. And that will help you play no end, because each one of those chords has, you know, phrases around them. So I play quite a few chords, and each one of those chords, as I say, has a phrase around it. So I've got a myriad, you know, of phrases and note passages that I can use within my blues. And in coming videos, we're going to look at how we can develop that. So yeah, sliding all over the place.